Welcome back to the Deep Dive. It is Friday, January 23rd, 2026.
It is.
And I have to say, if you've been anywhere near the internet, let alone the crypto markets,
Yeah.
in the last, 24 hours?
Oh, yeah.
You know exactly why we are huddled around the microphones today. We are stepping right into the blast radius of a massive moment for the Pi network ecosystem.
Blast radius is actually a pretty accurate way to describe it. I mean, we're looking at a landscape that has it's fundamentally shifted in a matter of hours.
The energy is absolutely palpable. I mean, thinking back to just yesterday, January 22nd, that was the launch of the first ever community vote on the mainnet. This is the big one everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah.
The vote on the V23 protocol upgrade.
Which, to be clear, is not just a software update. This is a massive sort of philosophical and structural step toward full decentralization.
Right. And community governance.
Exactly. It's the moment where the training wheels, so to speak, are finally being unscrewed.
And the response from the community was overwhelming, feels like a massive understatement.
Yeah, it was more like a tsunami. We are talking about a network traffic jam of just epic proportions.
That's right. I mean, the source material says millions, literally millions of people trying to log in at the same time to cast their vote.
And it actually caused a temporary network overload, significant latency.
I just want to pause on that image for a second. Imagine a digital stadium, right? And you have 15, maybe 16 million people all trying to squeeze through the same turnstile at the exact same second.
It creates a chaotic environment.
It does.
And chaos, unfortunately, is an opportunity. When you have that much enthusiasm, that much kinetic energy in a system, it creates a kind of fog of war.
And here's where it gets really interesting, and honestly a little dark. Whenever you have this much hype, the sharks start circling. They smell the blood in the water.
That is the unfortunate reality of finance, and it's doubly true in cryptocurrency. High volume and high excitement create a noise layer.
A noise layer?
Yeah, and in that noise, bad actors can hide. They know you aren't looking closely because you're too busy, trying to get your vote in or see what's happening.
Exactly. So our mission today is a bit different. We aren't just going to analyze the market trends or the price charts. We're acting as a forensic squad.
I like that.
We're putting on the white gloves and looking at a specific platform that has just popped up called IndexMarketCap.
Right.
And a very mysterious, very official-sounding financial index they are peddling called MOB5.
MOB5. It sounds serious, doesn't it? It has that ring to it.
It sounds totally official, like something you'd see scrolling across the bottom of a Bloomberg terminal.
Yeah. Dow Jones is up, S&P is down.
And MOB5 is rallying. It feels like something I should already know about.
And that's the point. It's designed to make you feel like you've missed a memo. But as we dig into the source material, specifically a really thorough forensic analysis from PiBazar, we're going to uncover that this so-called index is actually a bizarre cocktail of bone cancer research, computer coding errors, and, wait for it,
Okay.
a mushroom conference in Puerto Rico.
I'm sorry, did you just say a mushroom conference?
I did, a gathering of mycologists in the Caribbean. Yeah.
Okay, that is wild. I absolutely cannot wait to hear how we get from crypto mainnet votes to Caribbean fungus scientists. So buckle up. We're going to expose how all these dots connect to trick investors.
Let's do it.
Let's unpack this.
All right.
So before we get to the mushrooms and the cancer research, we need to set the scene properly. Why now? Why January 2026? What is it about this specific moment in time that makes Pi such a target?
Context is everything. It really is. To understand the scam, you have to understand the environment it's operating in.
Right.
And as of this month, January 2026, the Pi network has grown to a scale that it makes it a very juicy target. It's no longer some niche project.
We're looking at the data here. Over 15.8 million verified users. And when we say verified, we mean KYC, Know Your Customer Verified Pioneers.
And that is a crucial distinction. In the early days of crypto, or even on, say, Twitter, you talk about millions of users, but half of them might be bots.
Or duplicate accounts, yeah.
Exactly. These are 15.8 million real human beings who have held up a passport or a driver's license and gone through identity verification. That's a population larger than many mid-sized countries.
It's bigger than Belgium. It's bigger than Sweden.
It is. And yesterday, during that V23 vote, a huge percentage of that country was active all at once. We mentioned the traffic jam earlier.
Yeah.
When the vote opened, the system essentially choked on the excitement.
So put yourself in the shoes of a user for a second. You open the app, it's spinning, it's lagging. You're worried your vote won't even count.
Hmm.
You jump onto Twitter or Discord to see what's happening. You are in a state of like high arousal and very low patience.
And that is exactly what the scammer is banking on. Think about what that signals to a predator. It signals that you have a massive, highly engaged, and frankly, somewhat frantic audience.
No, no.
People are refreshing their feeds, they're looking for news, they're trying to figure out how to participate. It creates a fertile ground for disinformation.
Right. If I'm a scammer, I'm thinking everyone is looking for information. If I present something that looks official,
They'll click.
they might just click on it without thinking because they're desperate for an update.
Precisely. It's about exploiting that enthusiasm. When you have nearly 16 million people who feel like they are part of a revolution, they are primed to believe in the next big thing.
Or exclusive benefits.
Exactly. They don't want to miss out.
It's FOMO, fear of missing out, but weaponized. And let's not forget, there's real money on the table now. The estimated market capitalization is sitting at around, what, $1.54 billion?
With a circulating supply of roughly 8.38 billion pi. So this isn't play money or testnet tokens anymore. We are talking about over $1 billion in global value.
And that attracts a very specific kind of sophisticated predator.
It does.
Which brings us to our antagonist of the day, IndexMarketCap.
Right. So this is the platform that has recently surfaced, and it's positioning itself as a legitimate financial data provider.
And their star product, the thing they are pushing to all these eager pioneers, is this index called MOB5.
And just notice the branding. IndexMarketCap. It sounds a lot like CoinMarketCap, doesn't it?
Of course.
Which is the absolute industry standard for tracking crypto prices. They are piggybacking on established trust from the get-go.
It's credibility mimicry. It's like wearing a fake uniform to get into a secure building.
That's a great way to put it. And then MOB5, why does that name stick? Because it sounds technical.
It does. It sounds alphanumeric.
It reminds you of S&P 500 or DAX 30. It feels like a banking term. It feels dry, and dryness often implies legitimacy.
If I saw MOB5 in a headline, I wouldn't immediately think scam. I'd think, oh, that's some new derivative or tracking asset I don't know about yet. Maybe I should buy some.
And that is the trap. They are banking on you not looking it up. Or, even worse, they're banking on the fact that if you do look it up, you might get confused by what you find. But the team at PiBazar, they did the forensic work. They didn't just accept the name, they tore it apart.
And this is where the story just goes completely off the rails in the best possible way.
It really does.
Let's start the forensic debunking. Phase 1, the SEC database.
So this is likely where the scammers started their creative process. If you want to make something look financial, where do you go?
You go to the source, the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission.
So if you search the SEC database for MOB5, you actually find hits, right? Like, it's really in there.
You do. It appears in the database. And for a scammer, that's pure gold. They can just screenshot that search result and say, look, it's in the SEC filings. It's legit.
What is it actually doing there? Is it a company? Is it a stock ticker?
No. And no, it's not a ticker symbol. It's not a company name. It is, and this is the key, an artifact of ASCII encoding.
Okay, artifact of ASCII encoding. That sounds super technical. Break that down for us non-coders. What does that even mean? So you have to understand that the SEC's database system, it's called a DGRR, it's been around for a long, long time.
Right.
It holds millions of filings. When companies file documents, they often upload these massive dumps of data spreadsheets, raw text, older formats. The system has to ingest all of that and convert it into a standard readable format.
Okay, so it's translating computer speak from 20 years ago into something a web browser can read today.
Exactly. And in that translation process, specifically with older character encoding standards like ASCII, you get glitches, you get artifacts. Think of it like a scratched CD skipping a beat, or when you open a file in the wrong program and you see those weird squares and alien symbols.
Oh, I hate that. You open a Word doc in Notepad and it looks like the Matrix.
Precisely. MOB5 is essentially one of those glitches. It's a random string of characters that was generated during a compression or formatting error in some filing from years ago.
So it's literally digital noise.
It is literally digital garbage. It's the equivalent of a typo or a formatting tag that got stuck in the printer. It has zero financial meaning.
So MOB5 in the SEC database is just junk data.
It's junk data.
Yeah.
But to an untrained eye, seeing MOB5 appear in a government document looks like validation. It's powerful.
That is incredibly lazy, but also kind of genius in a really twisted way.
Yeah.
They found a glitch in the system and marketed it as a product.
It's the definition of a facade. But it gets better?
It can't.
Oh, it does. Because if you search for MOB5 outside of the financial world, you find something completely different.
Okay, phase 2 of the investigation, the medical mismatch.
Right, so if you run a search for MOB5 in scientific literature, you don't land on Wall Street. You land squarely in the field of oncology.
Oncology, as in cancer research.
Specifically, bone cancer. In the study of osteosarcoma and other conditions, MOB5 refers to a specific transcriptional state of cells.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. You have investors out there thinking they're buying into a cutting-edge cryptocurrency index linked to the Pi network mainnet. But in reality, the name they're buying refers to a cell state that's used to study bone tumors.
That is the reality. It's a collision of worlds that makes absolutely no sense unless you realize the scammers just picked a cool-sounding code without checking what it meant.
Invest in MOB5, now with 100% more cellular transcription. I mean, you have to laugh.
You do.
Otherwise, you'd just cry for the people falling for this.
It just highlights how disconnected the scam is from reality. They are effectively selling a biological term as a financial asset. It would be like selling a crypto token called mitosis.
Right. It sounds sciencey.
But it's just biology.
And just to put the final nail in the coffin on this, there is a third meaning, isn't there? Because why stop at cancer and glitches?
Of course there is. If you look into business management theory, specifically something called enterprise architecture,
Okay.
MOB5 pops up again.
What does it mean there? Don't tell me it's another disease.
No, don't. It's a code used to describe an organization's ability to revise its processes.
So, corporate speak.
It's basically corporate speak for being able to change how you work.
So let's recap. We have digital noise from the SEC,
Mm-hmm.
bone cancer cells,
Yep.
and corporate management theory.
And absolutely none of it is a cryptocurrency index. The term MOB5 is a hodgepodge of formatting errors and completely unrelated science.
Zero connection to Pi.
Zero connection to the blockchain and zero value. It's like they threw a dictionary into a blender and just picked the first piece of paper that flew out.
That is exactly what it feels like.
But they didn't stop there. They didn't just invent a fake index. They invented a fake technology to go with it.
This brings us to section 4, the technical lies. And this is where they stop relying on obscure codes and start trying to dazzle you with buzzwords.
The upgrade narrative. It's a classic trope in scams. The old system is good, but this new secret system is better.
Right.
IndexMarketCap is claiming there's another mechanism called IMC10.
IMC10, okay. And what is IMC10 supposed to do?
They claim it will switch the Pi network from proof of work to proof of stake.
Okay, let's pause here for the listeners who might be newer to the technical side of crypto.
Good idea.
Why is that claim just completely ridiculous? Why should that make every single alarm bell in your head start ringing?
It's ridiculous because it completely ignores the fundamental architecture of Pi.
Yeah.
They are claiming a switch from proof of work, which is what Bitcoin uses, right?
The huge computer farms, yeah.
The massive computer farms mining coins. But Pi has never used proof of work.
Never, not once.
Never. From day one, from the white paper, Pi has run on the SCP, the Stellar Consensus Protocol.
Can you give us an analogy? What's the difference between proof of work and this SCP thing?
Sure. So imagine you have a massive diesel truck. That's Bitcoin. It runs on heavy fuel. It's loud. It requires massive energy to move. That's the mining process.
Okay, got it. Diesel truck.
Now, imagine you have a high-speed electric train. That's the Stellar Consensus Protocol, which Pi uses. It relies on quorums, basically trusted circles of nodes that verify each other, not raw computing power.
So it's way more efficient.
Infinitely more efficient. So the scammers are saying, we're going to upgrade your diesel engine to electric.
But you're already driving the electric train.
Exactly. You don't have a diesel engine to convert.
So when they say we are upgrading the mining protocol, they are fundamentally admitting they don't know how the car they're trying to steal actually works.
Precisely. It reveals that the scammers don't even understand the coin they're trying to scam people with.
Oh.
They are just throwing out terms like proof of stake because they know it's a hot topic in the broader crypto world, especially after Ethereum's big merge. They're just playing buzzword bingo.
But again, just like with MOB5, the name IMC10 isn't random, is it?
Not at all.
We found a real-world counterpart to this acronym.
We did, and this is honestly my favorite part of the entire investigation.
I'm ready.
We wanted to know where the name IMC10 actually came from. It's not random. It's an acronym for our real-world event.
Okay, I'm going to take a guess. IMC. International Monetary Council.
Good guess, but no.
International Market. Coin.
Also no. If you dig into the archives, IMC-10 refers to a global gathering that took place in Puerto Rico,
Okay.
but they weren't discussing finance, they were discussing mycology.
Mycology. Wait, as in fungi?
Fungi, mushrooms,
No,
yes.
you are kidding me. You have to be.
I wish I was. IMC-10 stands for the 10th International Mycological Congress.
So let me get this straight. The revolutionary upgrade to the blockchain is named after a bunch of scientists looking at mold samples in the Caribbean.
That is what the source material indicates. It highlights the laziness. They probably needed a three-letter acronym that sounded official.
Right. IMC sounds like IMF or SEC.
It sounds institutional. It has gravitas. They tacked on a 10 to make it sound like a version number, but they didn't bother to Google it.
Or maybe they just really, really like fungi. Maybe the scammer is a mushroom enthusiast on the weekends.
I doubt it. It's just sloppiness. But it's dangerous sloppiness because, again, if you don't look it up, IMC-10 protocol upgrade sounds plausible enough to click on.
It really does. It's scary how thin the veneer is, though. One Google search and the whole thing falls apart.
But I guess they are counting on people not doing that one search.
That's the whole business model, isn't it?
It is. It relies on speed and emotion overriding critical thinking.
So we've established that the product is fake. It's a glitch,
Mm-hmm.
and it's cancer research, and the tech is fake. It's a mushroom conference.
Right.
But let's look at the platform itself, IndexMarketCap.
Mm.
Even if you ignored the funny names, are there signs that the website itself is a trap?
Oh, absolutely. This is what we'd call a reputational audit. When you strip away all the crypto jargon and just look at the business structure, the red flags are everywhere.
So what's the first thing that jumps out at you?
Anonymous ownership. I mean, if you're running a legitimate financial index, something that's supposed to track billions of dollars in value, transparency is key. You want people to know who you are.
Right. The S&P 500 doesn't hide who runs it. The NASDAQ has a headquarters.
Exactly. But IndexMarketCap uses privacy services to hide their identity in their domain records. You cannot find out who actually owns the site. That is red flag number one. Big one.
And red flag number 2.
The visual and structural similarity to known scams. The source material points out a striking resemblance to a project called Top Market Cap.
Top Market Cap. I remember hearing about that a while back. That didn't end well, did it?
It was a complete disaster. Users reported it as a total scam. They couldn't withdraw their money, and the site made all these false claims about being regulated.
Ah.
IndexMarketCap looks like a clone of that site. It has the same feel, the same layout.
So it's a rinse and repeat operation.
That's it.
They burn one brand, copy the code, change the logo from blue to red, and then they launch the next one.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And they've gotten more sophisticated about covering their tracks. This brings us to the third red flag, rating manipulation.
How does that work? Because I think a lot of listeners, myself included, rely on review sites to check if something is safe.
They do, and scammers know that. They know that savvy users will check sites like Scam Detector or Trustpilot, so they don't just build a fake
They
site.
build a fake reputation.
They build a fake reputation around the fake site.
So they're just botting their own reviews.
Yeah.
Paying for 5-star ratings.
Likely, yes. Or both. They manipulate the scores to give themselves this false sense of credibility. So a user does a quick check, sees a decent score, and thinks, okay, must be safe.
That is insidious. It's not just lying about the product. It's lying about the verification of the product.
It's a hall of mirrors. Everything you look at is designed to keep you walking straight toward the cliff.
So let's pull people back from that cliff.
Hmm.
We have spent a lot of time on what is fake. Let's pivot to what is real. Because, as we said at the top of the show, it is January 2026, and there is a lot of real, legitimate activity happening on the Pi network.
There is, and that's the tragedy of these scams. They distract from the genuine innovation. If you are a listener and you're wondering what you should be looking at, forget MOB5. Look at the V23 protocol.
The thing everyone was actually voting on yesterday.
Yeah.
The thing that caused the whole traffic jam in the first place.
Exactly. That is official. That is on the mainnet. That is where the real development is happening. That vote is the community taking the wheel.
And what about partnerships? Because IndexMarketCap claims to be a partner, which clearly they aren't. Who are the actual partners? Who is actually building on this thing?
Well, the sources highlight a couple of key ones. City Games is a big one. They're partnering with Pi to accelerate Web3 gaming innovation.
And gaming is huge for crypto adoption. It's usually the first place people actually use tokens for something other than just speculation.
It is. And OpenMind is another legitimate partner that's mentioned. These are the entities actually building value in the ecosystem.
Okay.
These are the projects you should be reading about, not fake indices.
And where should people go for their data? If IndexMarketCap is a no-go, what's the yes go?
Stick to the official channels. First and foremost, the Pi Network app itself.
Right.
And for market data, use verified aggregators like CoinMarketCap, the real one, which is where we got that 15.8 million user stat from.
The rule of thumb seems to be, if it's not in the app, be extremely skeptical.
And the too good to be true rule always applies.
Break that down for us in the context of Pi.
Pi mining is designed to be equitable. You open the app, you click a button once a day, it's environmentally friendly, it's a slow, steady accumulation. It's a marathon.
Not a sprint.
Not a sprint. So if someone comes along and says, buy this index and you'll get 500% rewards overnight, or participate in this secret staking pool for triple returns,
That's a red flag.
that is a massive high-risk signal.
Mining is done via the app, not by buying indices named after cancer research.
Correct. If you have to pay money to mine faster via some third-party site, run away. That is not how the protocol works.
So, to recap the mission we set out on at the start of all this.
We navigated the hype of January 2026. It's a crazy time, and the energy is incredibly high.
We debunked MOB5. We found out it is not a financial instrument. It is a mix of ASCII computer noise, bone cancer cell states, and corporate management jargon.
We debunked IMC-10. It is not a proof-of-stake upgrade. It is a mushroom conference in Puerto Rico.
The Mushroom Conference.
And Pi has always been on the Stellar Consensus Protocol anyway. The electric train, not the diesel truck.
And we exposed the platform itself, IndexMarketCap, as a likely clone of previous scams like Top Market Cap, complete with fake reviews and anonymous owners.
We've basically dismantled the entire operation, piece by piece.
It really makes you think, though. We are looking at a network Pi that's trying to do something really, really hard. Transitioning to a fully decentralized, community-governed, open network.
It is a massive technical challenge. But this investigation highlights something else, I think.
What's that?
That the biggest threat might not be technical. The code can be solid. The V23 protocol can be perfect. But if the community can't filter truth from fiction, that is the vulnerability.
That is a chilling thought.
Yeah.
If you can mobilize 15 million people for a vote, that's incredibly powerful. But if a bad actor can mobilize even 1% of them with a lie...
That's 150,000 victims.
Yeah.
Exactly. The transition to decentralization isn't just about the software growing up. It's about the community growing up. It's about developing a collective immunity to this kind of nonsense.
Collective immunity. I like that. We need a vaccine against mushroom-based scams.
We do. And that vaccine is critical thinking. It's asking, what is this? Why does this exist? And does IMC really stand for a protocol, or is it just a fungus conference?
Well, on that note, we are going to wrap up this deep dive. To everyone listening, the excitement is real, the growth is real, but so are the risks.
Very real.
Keep your eyes open, check your sources, and please don't invest in bone cancer research unless you actually mean to.
Stay skeptical, stay verified.
See you next time.